So the third question we asked was, well, what are the conditions that allow extremists within ethnic groups to mobilize their adherents to perpetrate violence? And to examine this, we looked at the interaction between access, political access, and religion on violence. So we looked at, this is your last slide, the political access and the probability of terrorism by an ethnic group. So we looked at ethnic minorities that are electorally active, trying to get into government, and at the time since they had last been included. And interestingly, we found that ethnic minorities that adhere to a different denomination or a different religion than the majority, when they are included in the political process, they have full access, they are actually less likely to perpetrate violence than are their counterparts, ethnic counterparts that adhere to the same religion as the majority. When these minority groups are excluded, however, their propensity for violence changes very quickly, particularly if they belong to a different denomination than the majority. The longer they are excluded from full access to government, the greater the probability that the group will engage in some form of violence. And we take this to mean that if there is an exogenous, we take this as support for the idea that if there is an exogenous grievance, the minority is excluded from government, the minority there's great income inequality, for example. We haven't tested this, but this is another possible exogenous grievance. It becomes much easier for extremists belonging to that group to mobilize members of the group along the lines of religion. So to conclude, like I said, we haven't found any independent effect of the content of religion on violence. We have found very little evidence that there's any inherent difficulty in getting minorities and majorities of different religions to work together in democracy, although this is not as true for minorities of different denominations. But when minorities of different religions are excluded from full access to government, their propensity for perpetrating violence does increase.